Hello Commanders, and welcome back to my tutorial series on how to play Fortnite Save the World. And in today's episode, we are going to take on Plankerton Defense number 4. Then, upon completion of it, we'll unlock an additional portion when it comes to our survivor squads, and another expedition slot when it comes to our vehicle. Let us not forget our V-Bucks because we do have a founder's account for this series. You will note that you do not see your X-ray tickets here. And I want to point out that because you are moving forward in the storyline and you have not made it to this point with the natural progression, you won't receive those X-ray tickets until you do in fact catch up. Now it is difficult for me to tell you to push forward because typically I would not. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I have been mentioning through the series the importance of war games for a new player. In recap, Stonewood will give you your gold. Very difficult to receive gold early on in your journey. But then we now want to speak about Plankerton, right? Evolution materials. Drops of rain are truly game-changing when you are new to Save the World. And in good faith, and as such, I absolutely have to recommend that you try to move forward on your Storm Shield Defense number 4. That way, each day that you sign in, you can start pocketing the evolution material and then start working your inventory by evolving and so on and so forth. But in this video, I will take you through step by step and show you how to build, trap, and then defend your home base Storm Shield Defense number 4 out here in Plankerton. So we find ourselves now back here in our home base Storm Shield out in Plankerton. The game is telling us that we must place an additional amplifier on an open platform. And this is important because, as mentioned, we need to be running those war games to get those evolution materials so you can start working on your inventory and the evolution of it. All right. Now, we're going to begin with necessary or recommended adjustments first and foremost. And then I will point out to you my next recommended placement. And then we will need to repeat this process until we're able to enter our Storm Shield here and the game does not tell us to place the additional amp. So anyway, let's go ahead and begin right here at home base. And my recommendation at this point is simple. Go ahead and break everything down and start fresh. Because based on my next recommendation, which will be up toward the west, you are no longer going to be needing to have the resource back here. And I'm sure you've reached a point where your traps are a bit better. And why not make things a little stronger, right? So let's go ahead and break all of this down. And we are going to start collecting, of course. And then we're going to repurpose some of this resource in our new amplifier, but also put it back into the home base here. Take all of this down right now. We no longer need it. Do be reminded when you are breaking your builds, you want to break it in sections. Okay? And you also want to make sure you are not leaving resource on the ground ever. The game can actually kick you out of your Storm Shield here. And it will randomly do that to you. And if you have any resource at all whatsoever on the ground, you'll lose it forever. It will not go into your inventory. So please be mindful of that. Whenever you have these valuable items resting here, pick them up. Okay. But anyway, when you are breaking down and doing rebuilds, start from the top and break it down in tiers or layers here, like I'm going to show you. So we're going to start with our ceiling here, as you can see. All right. Collect your resource once again. And then we will work on the ground level. Do want to point out here too, I'm seeing some resting wood on the ground that we cannot collect. So we are maxed. 3,000 is our capped inventory at the current time when it comes to what we can hold or the stacks we can create. Let's go ahead and just take all of it down as I mentioned. Okay, and then we'll keep all of the other builds that we actively have for the time being.
Yeah, not possible.
Buzz it on around here.
Yeah, not
Continuing to
possible.
collect. Breaking down. And as I've mentioned in previous episodes, your Storm Shield builds, especially your endurance, truly is not evergreen. You should always be trying to evolve it, level it up, upgrade the traps that you're placing as you get, higher level ones or better rarity or quality. And or if you are changing the perks potentially to meet your play style better or more suited for something like a longer defense like a Storm Shield or Endurance.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So we are good to go to this point. And then in storage, we'll just move everything over for a moment and make sure before we start building that we take up all of this wood here. And that should have it here. All right. I'm also going to go ahead on these edge pieces right here and take down the windowed wall with the sound wall on it. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and work away from the wood now. We're going to go with stone and metal for the remainder of the build. I do recommend it. Anytime that you can get yourself to tier 3 metal, especially until you are starting to deal with elemental enemies, I do highly recommend it. Again, it's not necessary. Remember, through your builds, you can use wood and or stone. The key is this. When you are building a specific area out, just make sure everything is at the same tier. And that's the key. So anyway, let's go ahead and level up for now our replacement walls. And then around the build, and again, because we're going to want to be taking on war games, right? I do want to point out that shortcut wave again. This will spawn nature element enemies very close to your builds. And if you do not prepare properly, the enemies will go through there. Truly. So, if you are running the war games, please make sure you're building in stone around your amplifiers. And I do want you running war games if you're new. You should be running the war games. Please do not listen if someone out there tells you that war games is not important or valid or viable for a new player. That is not true. Right? It is very important. So again, we'll have our opening here so that when we load in, right, we will be able to access easily
Oh, sorry.
the amplifier, right, or Storm Shield menu. And then we do want to make sure everything is at tier 3.
Nope.
I also do not recommend naked or open amplifiers
Oh, sorry.
for my new players especially. You're not at a point where you need to save structures. I actually never recommend saving structures. What are you saving them for? That's always my question. What on earth are you saving your extra structures for? You don't need to, right? When you have an opportunity to make your build better or stronger, please do so. Now, that doesn't mean you're just spamming, your builds or traps just wherever. Everything that you place should have purpose, use, and meaning to it. But otherwise, good to go here. And we are golden again. All right. Now, I do want you to go ahead. And we're going to go ahead and make, just a couple of our healing pads. We're going to make some anti-air traps. All right. We're going to need some darts again. And I cannot control, this is very important, how much inventory you have. I will tell you, between our Storm Shield 3 and now this one here, I have been doing some farming. I had mentioned X-ray tickets, maybe trying to work off of the llamas. There was a neon sniper available. But when it was all said and done, the time just wasn't right for me. I knew I would have to come in here once I noticed that War Games was not available. So, pump the brakes, and here we go, right? Now, I would recommend your healing pad on the back side here, because in War Games, if you go down, it's over, and you receive literally nothing for the most part. Minimal amounts of rewards, okay? And I don't want you going down. So just make sure when you have an opportunity that you have something like, of course, a healing pad throughout. And I would also recommend Survivalist Jonesy in your support team. Because then as your traps are killing, you'll heal passively. Not a bad thing, my friends. Remember too, in your loadout, okay, you can have your crossbones Barrett in there. You can go around. Anything that you break down now before the actual Storm Shield begins, it's gone forever, right? But you can buzz out here when it comes to consumables now, right? And start farming out and searching areas that maybe you haven't before. Right? You got some searchables up here. You could potentially get coconuts. Those could help you as well. You can actually farm during the actual, War Games. And then everything will come back to you, right? Because everything that you break before is gone forever. Anything that you farm during the active War Games or Storm Shield will regenerate for you. Remember, with an obliterator, you can take down these bushes here. So anyway, things to think about. Also in the caves, remember, if you have valuable deposits of quartz and copper and maybe coal, don't break those down, right? Keep them there forever. That way, when you're returning and or running the endurances, the Storm Shields, the War Games, they're there to farm every single time you come back. Please be mindful. And then as a reminder, when it comes to your inventory, consumables here, right? You can use them during the defense, but they will not move forward in your permanent inventory. Now, all of the other resource, though, will. Right, so just think about that for just a sec. And then we're going to go ahead here and make a little bit of adjustment out this way as well for you. So let me break all these down. I still want you to have something out here for the flingers that I've pointed out to you in the past. But for right now, let's go ahead and clean this up out in the field a bit because we're not going to need it.
Oh, sorry. Nope.
Okay, do remember as well, and I call it my rule of twos. First and foremost, with my rule of twos, natural terrain should never be counted in that. But when you don't have natural terrain, it's 1, 2 structures, and then a stagger. 2, stagger, 2, open. Or it's 2 open. All right. Please do not be putting multiple structures in a row across. Enemies become more curious there. There are special exceptions to that rule. And, we've gone over that in our other amplifiers on occasion, right? Like, for example, your alpha. I think it was over there in that south direction. But nonetheless, be mindful of that as well. But this would be our open area here. And your only attack now, once you do place your Alpha, your Bravo, and then up here, we're going to place Charlie. And I purposely do this. All right, I'm going to skip the section here as we're working around. We're going to go up here instead and then come back here with your Delta. All right, in the future. But anyways, once you place these amplifiers, you're not getting the attacks back in here anymore. So you don't need to have the resource. Again, repurpose it. Tuck it back away into your inventory. And then again, if you have loot on the ground, like that valuable metal out there, please make sure you go out there and collect it. Also be reminded of your stone wood endurance. All right, before you move into Plankerton, complete Storm Shield 7, 8, 9, and 10. Start running an endurance with a material grinder. I have an entire series of how to build, trap, operate, and defend when it comes to stone wood endurance. Start with the build exactly, right? Invest the time, the resources into it. You know, use the traps you have at this point in your journey, and then eventually, you know, upgrade them and change things out. Again, your storm shields and endurances, they're not evergreen. You've got to be active in here and keep working on them to make them better for yourself. All right? Just some more information to pass on. Remember, when we are building and working here, you do not want to connect trap tunnels to your amplifier. There's a potential where the enemies can become more curious and or aggro, and bad things can happen, right? Smashers can charge, propanes can get thrown, so on and so forth. Out in the spawn areas, make sure you are removing natural terrain items where enemies can potentially hide behind, like flingers and lobbers, for example, which I just mentioned. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start preparing you, not only, as always, for this defense, but for the future as well. And I do want to be mindful of that when we're speaking, all right? Now, I like to come out here when it comes to the build and would like to bait them into this area here. That is important to note. And then too, if you want to do something different out here, which sometimes I do like to do, you can adjust out here. But here would be the goal for me. Remember, the flingers, they like to come out about this area right here. And it can be pretty nasty. All right? I'm just going to throw that out there. They can get kind of, you know, nasty at you. So definitely want to point that out. All right, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead here for this particular build now. And I know we just upgraded this, so please forgive me there, but I'm going to do just something a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and extend the two this way, and then you would have your stagger here. So again, boom and boom. Okay. And then you would work into here potentially if you wish instead. All right. Really comes down to how you want to bait the enemies in. Now, I like wall darts right here. All right. And then in the corner pockets here as part of the build, all right, you can go ahead and wrap here with a ceiling. And then you kind of turn it into a defense, per se. Now again, be mindful though, if you attach, you could run into problems you typically don't want to. But again, if you are purposely doing it for some reason, and you know that, then you'll be okay. And then you're going to kind of just go off of what we did before, right? So we will replace everything when it comes to the build. Same thing out here, right? Get your ceilings back up. And what we provided you before is absolutely nasty. And I would go ahead and keep what we had, that same style of build. Just like this here. Now, I would come into these areas and I would do a couple of block offs. Ceilings, and I want full block offs, right? That's your floor, your ceiling, your edited pyramid piece, right, that would match your edited floor. I do like the pyramids over the reverse 45s.
Let's see.
Right? And then you want all of your walls So it's 7 total pieces. If you're missing any of that, it becomes a partial block off, not a full. All right, we're out of metals. Let's grab a little bit. And from this point, we'll be using metals, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab some up. That material grinder in my Stonewood Endurance build will help you with extra metal and building mats. Please take advantage of that. Again, I have that step-by-step for you. It's in a playlist here on my YouTube. All right, and then again, you would start with your snare out here. Okay. You would have your walls in here again. We'll break this down. All right, this comes in. And you are golden. And this is that end-game style build that I recommend to you. It's never too early to learn block-offs and or trapping building techniques.
Yeah, not possible.
In fact, every moment that you delay that can lead to, problems in the future, in my opinion. And be reminded that my series is to promote and or create trappers and builders out there, not runners and gunners. Very, very important I mention that as well. I have a specific audience that we're looking for to try to help here. All right, and then right in here, believe it or not, I want you to go ahead and seal this down. Just connect here. All right, and then we're going to edit this to the northwest and this out here to the northeast. And then we're going to do a block off in here as well. Just like this here. You could theoretically turn these into little timeout rooms as well, but I don't want you, we're not going to go too advanced or anything. I just want to get the basics here going. All right, so everything should be tiered up.
Sorry.
And, most of the time when it comes to building and trapping Save the World, especially in your Stonewood and Plankerton Endurance early on, or just in general, it can actually be better to just break everything down and start fresh. Less time consuming. You can go back and just double and triple check everything.
Nope.
That same mechanic that we have here, and I'm just going to point it out to you. And then we would have the one wall here. I'll just start with, and I'm going to show you something here with that when we get out there. And be reminded, we're always thinking about not Storm Shield Defense number 4, or what we're doing now. We're preparing you for the future. Right? I'm already preparing you for your endurance, believe it or not. All 10 of your Storm Shield defenses. You're investing. You're going to take your time and not keep hitting that play now tab through the storyline with your other quests, right? Now, I do, and it's not like me to recommend it, but I have to. You've got to be running this war games as soon as you can. And if the game allows you to move forward, and because I am providing it here to you, you basically just need to follow it step by step, right? With whatever traps you have, by the way. You don't have to have the same exact ones that I'm showcasing here.
Sorry.
Okay. So anyway, I'm just always thinking in advance. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure these are facing to the north. And we will seal them down. And absolutely, please make sure you have your sealing pieces on your block offs. I see it all the time. People do not block off with their sealing pieces. And phasing husk can get in here. And if a phasing husk like a Labra Flinger gets in here, they will stand here and they're protected on all sides. They just start lobbing at you and they'll beat you. So make sure when you, especially early on, now when you get later into Canny Valley, Twine Peaks, you need to save structures. I get the purpose of why people are doing that. But again, you are taking a chance of getting beat. All right. So we're golden now. And see how it all ties in. We have our staggers. I do want you to know that I am a symmetric builder. I like symmetry. It's just how I like to play the game. And there's many different ways to play it. Please be reminded of that. All right. Now remember, too, your darts are 1, 2, into the 3. That's your fire here. Same thing on here. 1, 2, into the 3 with the darts. So that you're covered now. Now, the next thing I want you to do out in this field here is something that I do. I want a couple of sections built just like this. I just want some boxes here for a moment. With your ceilings, by the way. In the future, when we get to endurance, I have a pretty cool build I like to run. All right? And then I want you to go ahead and skip out, right? Just like we have here, to this point, and I want another one right here. All right. Please put these boxes out here. I promise they'll do you a great service. Again, we have lobbers and flingers that we need to be paying attention to as you're moving forward now. If you don't put anything out in the field here, they will stand out in this field and they'll start getting after you. And I don't want that to happen. Now, I don't want to get too advanced with any of the techniques that we're utilizing. We're just going to keep this one simple. When we get into endurance, which I'll cover outside of this series, believe it or not, I'm going to make, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, the endurance is a bit separate. So, you know, if players that have some more experience behind them, to go along with our new players, of course, you know, can utilize them and go off of them. And be reminded with the series that I'm going to take you through the entire storyline, all Storm Shield defenses and quests. That's my guarantee to you. When it comes to the endurances and stuff, that'll be on my own time when we can get to it, all right? All right, so we have our boxes out here now. And I do want to point out, when you have the build, you'll see here how we always have the areas covered with wherever they're standing. We're making sure we try to take care of them. And then if for some reason they get to an area that you can't defend, I want you to remember you have your anti-air traps. And I actually do want anti-air traps facing out to the north here. Just like this. In case for some reason you get a lobber flingers back here, you know, especially the lobbers for the projectiles, right? Because that's what they're for. You'll have it, you know, under control and you'll be able to square it away. Then on the outsides here, I want darts on any wall that you're seeing here. Put your wall darts around. Don't leave any tiles undarted.
Yeah, not possible.
And again, if you don't have the resources right now, separate yourself from others. Please go back and farm. Pump the brakes. Don't use your overpowered teammates with their overpowered abilities, schematics, stats, right? If you can't solo it, don't complete it. You only get to do it once. The game's telling you, hey, stop, right? You're not quite ready to move forward yet in your journey. And again, I have a series here for you, step-by-step detailed. All you got to do is put the effort in, right? Get your farming Outlander. Go in no-fill lobbies and farm. Right? Top to bottom, those maps. Invest here. Invest early before you get to Twine Peaks. I say suffer early, succeed later. Often. All right. If for some reason too, guys, if you want a little bit extra, you could always put one over out here. I just want to point this out. Is this required out here? Absolutely not. But would it make the build stronger and keep you safer? Absolutely. Right? It just really comes down to, right, what do you want to invest in the build? This will protect you, I promise you. I actually like these. I would go with them. If it were me and I was newer to the game, my traps weren't that great, which we do not have great traps. To ensure with war games we're going to have success every time we're loading in here, and because Homebase will get attacked every single time, right?
Sorry.
I would put it in here. I would invest the resource and time. It just makes it that much stronger. And then there truly aren't any weak areas on the build after doing it. Okay, and then again, just throw some more darts down. All right. Go farm some trees, some vehicles, some rocks. Right. Trees, vehicles, rocks. Just remember that. All right. And then if anything tries to get out here, no chance to include those flingers that we mentioned.
Sorry.
Now, if you happen to see some action on your walls on the outer edges for some reason, okay, you can block off behind those sections if you wish to. Believe it or not, this would probably clear endurance for you right here. It's pretty similar to my endurance build, to be honest with you. All right. Well, what I'm saying is if they come to the walls, you start noticing, you could always do some block offs, but you should not need that. I like the heels attached wall spikes on the back of the walls instead. It'll save you quite a few pieces in your builds, but that perk has to be working. I'm not sure it's working at the current time, but they'll fix that in the future. At least they should. All right. So that takes care of your home base out here in the field, and this is devastating. All right. They've got no chance, man. And again, what's going to beat you? Lobbers and flangers. Up top, right? Typically. All right. Then we will start the process out here with our builds as always.
Whoa, sorry.
Always begin the process with your wooden floor spikes. Then we will go into the tar pit traps. Now, with how the game is, and I still see this even with many endgame players. And for me, in my opinion now, when you get to Canny 70 or above, the floor launcher combo against the core of your walls, to me, I would never recommend that. The smashers are just going to go right through your builds, man. All right. So start working on your tar pits here in case you get smashers charging. And a couple layers, honestly. Remember, you get a full tile plus 1, 2, another half of slowing effect. All right. In this area here, I want a dart here and a dart here. We will go ahead and edit that out to the northeast with a window, and this one to the northwest. And please put these here. You will need these block offs on specific modifiers. And then you shoot your darts through here, just like this. All right, another trap you'd want to be having would be at this point an energy dynamo. In the future, you want both energy and nature. So please do not listen if someone tells you you do not need nature in the dynamo, the zapper, or the electric field. You do need the nature copy. All right, you're going to face water element enemies, and they are fantastic for that. And you might be watching this series when you have that water season going. All right, prepare yourself for it. It'll make a big difference. You do need it. All right. All right, and then you want gas traps right here. And again, this is an end game technique. So in my series, I do, and I have many end game players or veteran players will often say that the series is beneficial to them. They're picking something up. This is a nasty combination. It's something that I came up with. You know, I've been running for many years and helping people with. And do keep in mind, I am a damage style builder. I like to crush husks, right? I do know how to recycle, right? To stall. Again, there's many different techniques, ways to play the game, but we're here to kill. I will tell you, with my experience of the many years I've played the game, that damage always stands true, and will go with the test of time overall. When you start using techniques like lighthousing, coning, loop bridges, smasher bridges, no builds, bad things happen, right? And often they need to be adjusted, but damage does not need to be adjusted for the most part, right? It'll keep you from having to come in so much to make adjustments. All right. So anyway, that's your technique, and you're working in. And then in the windowed walls, I want you to go ahead and run your dynamos. Just like this here. All right. Now, other techniques of things that we can do here for just a moment. And I do think we need to be mindful of it when we can. And because they're going to have to come around, for the most part, these outside edges here. Okay. Be reminded that you can take this wall down here, shoot the dart through here, leave a window, and then I would recommend some propane prevention here. And I'd put the sound wall traps here and the same thing right over here. I would do that. If you're still worried about prevention when it comes to the propane, you could theoretically place them on the window walls here. You could go on the backs of the builds where you have other protection from darts, right? You've got 1, 2, into the 3. So you're protected back here. So you could put sound walls here and here and back here if you need more. It's not a bad idea, honestly. But again, it's a playstyle choice. So let's go ahead and make sure everything's upgraded to tier 3 and you're golden. Now, above your head here, it can be electric fields or ceiling drop traps. Both are acceptable. All right. Now, I typically will go with, if you're 2 tiles high, I like the electric fields. All right. Because I like anti-air traps to help you. Right. And believe it or not, I like an anti-air trap here. So let's talk about those. I want you an anti-air trap in the pocket here. All right. I would go with an anti-air trap out over here. And I would go with one out over here. And then right up here, middle center, I would go with another one. You are, again, going to face lobbers and flingers here. I want to protect you. And or you might have space rocks, which will drop, projectiles from the sky at you. Stuff. Just things to think about as you're running through. And invest as you wish. You could actually throw a middle center here too if you wanted to, but you're already protected. I don't want you to overdo it, but again, everything that I'm placing, there's a purpose for it. There's a meaning behind it. All right, and let's just get this final upgrade going, and we're good. And then up here, as mentioned, if you want to kick back, you can use tires, or you can go electric fields. Either work. If you're using the anti-air traps on top, I typically recommend the electric fields to keep the lag down a bit for you. All right. And then you're golden here. Right, that would be your new home base build. Just repurposing resource now. You're probably going to walk away with more resource than you began with this build because, again, we broke down the east, the west, and the south and put those resources back into our inventory. But this will get you where you need to be. And be reminded, if you're someone out there that listens to those that tell you just throw some tires up and spam them and call it a day, that is not going to help you in your future when you get to the end of the game in Twine, when you start doing limited time modes like Frost Knight Survive the Horde. Be reminded that you are going to have moments in the game where you have to play on your own solo, when matchmaking is broken. That's a true thing, by the way. When your teammates aren't around. If you just throw tires up all the time and try to call it a day, you will get beat. I promise you. You're going to get to the end game. You're going to be lost. Okay. Invest early. Be willing to put some effort into it. I promise you it'll make a big difference for you in your journey. All right. But to each his their own, of course. All right. So that covers the update on your home base. And that would cover all of your war games, to be honest with you. Even when you have close quarters or something, right, you'd be golden. You'd still get the shots from behind. All right. There are some devastating modifiers in war games. No doubt about it. And then if you're doing war games, remember your base would go on top of your build. I don't put the tier 2 stone up top if you're wondering that. Because if you have a weakened structure on the build, they'll target it more. I don't want them to target that area more. I don't put a anti-air on top of it either because of that. I usually put it in the front center here or on the edges, right? Remember, have your healing pad back here. All right, let's just go up and do a quick look around when it comes to your area. Now, this area right here. Okay. I want you to go to your inventory. I want you to come down and get some jump up pads. Let's call it 10. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to build here and up. I want you to use this so you can maneuver and go up here. That way, if you have an attack, you can just hit that pad and up you go. You don't have to worry about maneuvering around other areas. Again, just trying to pass along some tips and tricks for you. You can also do directional pads for movement. You can do movement speed heroes. The Baron's going to help you as well. But otherwise, good to go. Now, with the builds that we already have, for your south direction attack, for the attack from the east, all done. You've got no concerns here at all whatsoever.
Nope.
All right. But over here on the north, okay, now it's opened up a little bit more for you. I would go ahead here. I'd skip a tile. And I would work these sections up here. And you might even want to work here. You just got to count it. 1, 2, into the 3 in the water so you're protected. I would put a couple of darts here. And again, this is out to the northeast of the alpha build. You just can't get out there to block things off right now. So those are going to be absolutely a couple of pieces we want to place. And then let me go back down here. Make sure we're tier 3 on this, and then we'll come back and tier 3 that. And on alpha, that's all you need. There's no other adjustments now. If you follow this step by step, you're golden. And be reminded that's for all 10 Storm Shield defenses right now, currently, to get you through. Not just the one you're facing. All right, so that's all good to go. Another thing, too, if you upgrade builds right here, do not leave the Storm Shield until after the builds finish, or they won't save. You could lose resource. I will usually, after the fact, after those go, I'll sometimes put a build down and then break it, or add a healing trap somewhere, just to make sure you get the save the right way for that previous step. Okay. I've had questions about the tier 2 structures with stone. Remember, those are base placement areas. If you're AFK, you would not need those. They're more so if you are following your amplifiers. Maybe your traps are a little weaker. Your building and trapping skill set might not be there, where you're putting your base on your tunnels instead of where they're trying to attack. But again, in Storm Shields, in war games, I like you to protect the amplifier, because if they can't get into the amp, they can't beat you. All right, so something to think about there. But anyway, that would be our alpha update. I don't see anything else at this current time that I would change otherwise. I like what we've got going here. All right, so that's golden. All right, now let's head to Bravo. And we are not placing here. Keep everything the way that we spoke already out here. No changes necessary. Up here, though, Bravo South. Remember that I had the tier 1 block off over here. Okay. You want to come back now and tier it all up to 3. And then I would throw a dart on one side. And you can either do a wall launcher here if you wish. All right. But I would do a sound wall trap right here, because you don't want to force enemies down into areas where they can go down and walk around and try to get after you. Even though we have this all, but you could recycle them down here because we have it all built out. All right. But you can do a sound wall or a wall launcher here, whatever you want. But just put a couple things there. Make sure everything is tier 3 on the way up, to include the other block off here. And then we would aim this right to the east here, and you seal it off. But come back here and fix that. That's a change I want you to make. Otherwise, though, everything else is good to go. No changes necessary. No changes necessary. So if you invested in 3, you're golden now. You can see how it's moving quickly now. And this is what's going to happen when you start getting to 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? And once they stop attacking different, you're not going to have to mess with anything. You just come in and hit that go, and you're going. Right. Next amplifier is going to be our Charlie, and it'll be out here to the northwest. You'll see your water tower over here. You'll see the home base down here at an angle. This is your amplifier placement. So we will go in and place this now.
Nice work.
Reminder to you, they're trying to attack this box right here. So whatever you can do to bait the enemies in that way is a good thing. But make sure it's sealed now. Base would go up here. Your attacks here now. All right, we do need to be mindful of them. And can come from different directions. All right. So you will have a south, a west, and a north initially. So without a doubt, we need to address it. So I would start first and foremost with your anti-air traps. Let's get 3 of them. And then we're going to have a healing pad. Okay, anti-airs would face outward. Again, to the west, to the south, and to the north. And then, of course, on this area back here is where I'd put your healing pad. So we're golden here. This is an interesting area up here. We can go ahead and start. But what we're going to do first is I want you, and let's just go get some material here for a moment. And I want you to get stone and metal. You're going to have a little bit of a dark field, kind of. It's the best way to go out here. Through my experience, through helping others, it's always the dark field. Seems to be, the best way to go, in my opinion. All right. 3K of each material. Back out we go. And here, now, you can just mantle your way up. So you don't need a jump pad per se, all right? You just mantle up. You'll be fine. But what we're going to do, all right, because you're going to have the attacks here. I'm going to go ahead initially, and this could change as I start building, but I want you to line the walls with darts all the way around. And if you have the bubble here, I would put your dart on the wall before you place it just to make sure. But please just line this all around here with your wall darts. We will have an area here that we will go in with. We'll have a floor, a ceiling, and then my finisher out here that I usually recommend to you. Now, again, if it's against the natural terrain, we're good with the stone, but if it's not against natural terrain, I'd go metal. All right, so we're just going to do an L shape here. 2 ceilings, reverse pyramid, edited for my finisher, right? And then out you come, and there it is. Just like that for this area in case you get any enemies that try to get through here. All right. Now, another thing that you want to do, and I know it seems like a bit of overkill, but it's truly not. Whenever you have terrain like this, it's a very good idea to build like I am right here for it. Build it up so they have a nice, smooth drop point. Same thing here, just wrap around. Because what can happen is if you don't do that, the enemies can actually fall down and get caught on the wall and start lobbing at you there. And we don't want that to occur. So if you can, please make sure, and I'm just going to put this temporarily. Just go ahead and get a nice smooth drop point here. Back up we go. Typically, if I see, structures here, I'm going to get rid of them. That's an area where a lobber flanger can hang out at. We don't want that to occur. I'm going to just line down the edge here. Same thing as before. Just to make sure. And then they have a nice smooth area, and just line this around like this here. Okay. Same thing at the edge here. Just line down your terrain. And down over here. Now we're using stone here, which is fine. That way everything is smooth and even. You've got nothing getting hung up. It's just some stone here. You have plenty of structures for it. All right, I'd probably seal this off right here too. Just make it even. Okay, this here, I'd put a wall here. I'd do another one here. But use stone here. You're on the floor. You're on the natural terrain. And then all we're going to do from this point is make sure everything is tier 3. We'll show you the power of the wall dart, my friends. If I haven't already done that in the series, we will definitely show you here. I will tell you that's a transition point up here. We're not probably going to be able to upgrade that, but that would be another area that you'd want to try to, if you could. I'm going to see if I can get in there. I don't know if they're going to let me in. Yes. Now, you'll notice that we destroyed some structure, but it gives you your transition. Because remember, once the storm shield starts, the bubble's going to go back, and they're going to be standing up there. All right, so let's go ahead and upgrade all this to tier 3. And keep in mind, again, what are we doing here? We're storing resource for the future. For those endurances that you're going to be running.
Yeah, not possible.
And again, if you do not have the resource to do this, go farm, right? Go run that material grinder that I showed you in that stone wood build.
Whoa, sorry.
All right, so we're going to work it on down. Can actually level from the top if you need to, right? Like we're doing here. Now you kind of just walk it down at an angle. Get it to tier 3. Then you have to come back for it.
Nope.
That way, in case you get an explosion or whatever. All right, we're out of stone. Let's go grab some. Oh, actually, we should just grab 3K, but that's okay. And then back up we go. Just 1 second there. And let's finish it off.
Yeah, not possible.
Now, can you have tier 1 here? Absolutely. Again, my madness has meaning to it. If you store here, take out that material that you have in your storage right now and open that inventory so that you can place, you know, other items in your inventory instead.
Sorry.
Then you'll know you have your stone waiting for you when you need it in the future. Now, you might ask here, I don't ever mess with it back here. This is your spot. All right, now as that's going, what I would do from the next point, I'd get these wooden floor spikes. And on all of your edges, I would run a wooden floor spike here. Just walk it around like I'm doing here now. All right, I would actually just fill that in. Run those wooden floor spikes on your edge. Okay, if you don't have enough, make them again. This will slow them down as they go into the field, right? Start your process. All right, so we're golden. We can't get the one out there. That's okay. You could probably get that if you would have put it before, but no problem.
Yeah, not possible.
One last pass through. Oh, we don't need this one. I'm sorry. Making sure everything is at your tier 3.
Whoa, sorry.
And up we go.
Nope.
Double check any of our final builds. Everything looks good. And then this would take care of all this stuff. All right, so we're here. Now, what we'll do is grab our wall darts. And again, if you don't have the darts to cover it, you got to go farm. No other way of saying it, man. Run your expeditions, too. We spoke about expeditions. You can recycle traps that you get from expeditions and make your own. Go for the red toolboxes, the crates.
Yeah, not possible.
All the way around here. Pretty much every wall that you see here, you want a wall dart on it.
Yeah, not possible.
Okay. Just like that here. You could actually as well, not a bad idea. You could throw one here and you could come over here and throw one right here. So it's going to be a different style of build, right? Not going to be typically, you know, your typical trap tunnel build. And they all kind of tie into each other. These two here, we're going to call the west and the south. They're going to be together, kind of. This is the best way to say it.
Whoa, sorry. Nope.
Okay. And then I know what we got coming up through there. All right, so everything's tiered up again. And I think that would be pretty much your stone use. Then we'll start getting back into the metal. So let's go over to this trap tunnel that we made. This is one of the areas where we're, it's going to probably be the only area where we have a trap tunnel, but in here, get your wooden floor spike out. First tile here, yes. Now you could go all three, or you can run a couple tars here. It really is up to you. I'd go tar. Your gas trap, face out to the north. Direction doesn't matter with the gas trap though, keep that in mind. This would be your zapper in here on your wall. And if you followed through any of the builds so far, you know exactly what we're doing here. If you haven't, remember, you can go back episode 1 and go through the entire playlist. It's all here for you. So you are golden. Again, where we reminded that there'll be attacking right here. I'm actually going to open this up here for a moment for you. Okay. On this amplifier, I would go all the way around with darts. Just like this here. I would shoot one in here. This would be an electric field inside. This would be a dynamo outside. And leave that. I would actually leave this one open. It gets them a little bit more. I want them coming around this way. All right, trying to get to you. If they try to come in through here, you know, they would be open here, right? You can actually go ahead, honestly. You could open this up too. And it would bait them over here. And just put your dynamo here again. And then what you do is just get 1 and 2. You would have a dart here. And you would skip out 1 and then 2. And we would have a dart here. And we'll talk about that off the build in just a moment. And you're going to notice a lot in the builds too. My two favorite traps in the game, top tier traps as well, in my opinion. The wooden floor spike and the wall dart. They're both devastating. And not necessarily because of the damage, for instance, with the wooden floor spike. It's more the mechanic of it all. I'm just keeping this in stone because I'm considering it part of the amplifier build. All right. Oh, and in the back wall here, you'd have a dart too. Right? Just every wall that you see, just throw them.
Whoa,
Don't be bashful with it. All right. And that would get you here. And your trap tunnel for the west as they come in. But you're not done yet. Okay? Now you need to take in consideration the drops here as they come down. And what we're going to do now, and you can go stone again if you want, but I'm just to show you the difference, we're going to go metal. All right? And what we're going to do is we're going to connect here. And I'm going to start building ceilings off of our structures here. Or wall pieces, excuse me, wall pieces. I apologize. And I want you to walk this around here, just like I'm showing you. Connect to the wall, into the wall. See how we're kind of, so start it right at the edge there and just walk it out and around. This here. Here. And then off of your wall here.
What to build?
Okay. And you can go here and here and just walk it. And actually, you would be good here. I would just tell you throw a couple darts here. All right, you've got your room there. See how it's all kind of got you covered from the top section here? And then you see up here. Go right behind you. Just make sure, wherever you have your tiles, that you have darts shooting through. And then I'm just going to put some stone for a second because it'll make it easier to put your darts and upgrade everything. All right, and or you can just walk it like I'm walking. See how I'm walking it around here? You could do this too. That plays. But just for temporary. Just like this for now. Same thing up here. You could just go ahead and finish it. This would, I think I might put this here too, honestly. I'd probably just finish it. And then that's going to be your build for the south and the west. And it's two traps and some stone and metal.
Nope.
And it's storage for the future, and it's going to get you through your defenses. Just real quick, I'm going to jump up because you know you're going to have darts on all these. They're all darted. All right. Darts above you. Same thing here. Again, go hit some trees and vehicles, man, if you need the darts. Just like I've been doing. You know, I take a break in between, put things on hold for the video. Like everything here, I've gone in and we farmed over and over again. Just continuing to farm. Something you have to do in Save the World these days now, right? Nothing we can do about it. Absolutely, because you can't share items as well anymore. You could, if they let you, sneak one here too. And they'll let me. I would sneak one there too. But pretty cut and dry. Take all these away now. Make sure it's all tiered up. And that's 2 amplifiers, or 2 directions down. As mentioned.
Whoa, sorry.
You'll have no issue here. Then, of course, we'll work up and open this. Make sure everything's tiered. Finalize our metal through here. Notice how we're not putting the darts on the drop sections. You don't need to have the darts on the sides here. Remember the importance of the wooden floor spike to start the process for you. Right here, I'd have another wooden floor spike, and I'd have a dart, a couple darts in here. I would have a dart here. I would have a dart here. Just follow it around. Up you go. You're out up here now. Same kind of thing. Dart, dart. And then we'll just walk this around like we did before with the stone temporarily. And same thing here. Not the corners. All right. Everything gets upgraded to your tier 3 again. Now here, though, it's 1, 2, and 3. You could potentially a dart as they fell could strike, but I wouldn't drop it. You don't need it.
Yeah, not possible.
Just looking 360 around always. Where can you throw damage? So again, another technique when it comes to building that you can use. This is actually a very good technique in the game, honestly. Just refer to it as the dart field. For my baseball fans out there, instead of Field of Dreams, right? Field of Darts. All right. If you're old enough, or you know that movie, or were raised right, I consider that a must for a parent to show their kids. So, opinion only, though, of course. And that would take care, again, of all that you need up in here. And you might think, man, that's a lot. It's really not. And you're not just out there spamming traps for no reason. You actually are learning, synergy. Angles, right? Every time you take a tile, you're making sure that they are covered, right? Like right here, see this wall? Everywhere you go, right? 1, 2, and 3. You are always covered. See what I mean? Same thing out here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Everywhere you look, you're covered. All right, that's all good, and we're done. All right. So now we have our final area to the north. Let's go grab us a bit more material. We're going to call it the metal. We have any extra stone too. I like to get in my storage. If it's not a full stack, I don't like to keep it in there typically. And I would tell you to do the same. Have your inventory open. And then again, back we go. You could, if you wanted to help with maneuverability, you could put a directional pad here and hit it and shoot out and across. It would help you with maneuverability. If you're, I don't mind just going this way. It doesn't bother me any, but you might have something different you want to do. All right. So you're going to have your spawns now down in this area. We've already taken care of this back here. I would probably consider, I'm just going to connect it so it's all connected here. I would consider a couple of darts down in this area here. And I'm going to show you where I want them. All right. And actually here, believe it or not, well, you got the drop, so I'd keep it. But put some darts out here. And here.
Whoa, sorry.
You'll have a little drop area down here. If anything drops,
Yeah, not possible.
right, I would come here. Just be mindful, so in case they try to come over here and start lobbing at you, you have some protection. All right, I would line this down here, all the way. And I'm going to throw some darts out here. Again, if you're on a different section, though. And if for some reason they walk down and want to get cute here, you could take care of it. Or, what I like to do is I would build this out. You can either old school Dorito this, you could do reverse 45 if you want to edit your pyramids, come up top, right? I like a Dorito here. For anytime you build your own structure, I like the Dorito under to lift it. All right. Let me just go ahead and protect this here. I actually can turn this into a usable area potentially, but we'll talk about that in a second. And I just like to seal everything down so it's all clean and smooth. I would put darts here, 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 and here. And if you had a blaster or a flinger here, you could probably get a hit here too. I would consider it.
Yeah, not possible.
And then as mentioned, you've got your walls here all taken care of. And then you have one over here.
Nope.
If you notice any bingos over this way, which you could. Sometimes they try to get cute and work over here. I would leave the opening here, and I would run here with it to protect you. This will be a technique you'll use, especially in endurances in the future. All right. Or again, you can go off terrain and do your Law 2s that I like instead. All right, and then you are 100% without question secure. And again, we're just storing darts for the time being. No big deal. We'll just store them up. But please do be mindful of this area and do not overlook it.
Yeah, not possible.
Because you have no way, with where the bubble's at right now, you can't really protect yourself. I actually, believe it or not, I like a little wooden floor spike right here. Just slow them down a bit. I'm not going to lie to you. I do like that here. And then up here, I would go with a piece here. Right? Or you can just leave it. I wouldn't be too concerned. You could just build in the backside here and just make sure they fall down here. Right? Right here, for instance, I would go metal here. I'd do a block off here, honestly. For now. You'll have a spawn above your head here. And your block house is to the northwest, by the way. You'll have a spawn up top here. Let me show you. Up here in this area. In the future, especially. But they don't ever truly walk back here. In the past, I would take care. We might address that when we get to endurance for you. But I wouldn't be too concerned about it right now. I would still get the block off here, though, and play off in case they want to drop down here.
Whoa, sorry. Nope.
That takes care of all that. Let's make sure everything else is upgraded.
Not possible.
To include our area here that where we built it up. You could theoretically put your walls there, but we're not going to do that. You don't need to. It's a partial block off on that, or a partial build up. We say partial if we do not build a full block off, right? If we're missing just one piece of that block off, it's a partial.
Oh, sorry.
For the purpose of the series, anyway.
Nope.
All right, and then that gets sealed again to the northwest, right by the opening, so they don't try to walk around here and get cute at you. If you put a wall here and a floor here, good chance it's gonna get blown up, so I wouldn't mess with it. You could sneak a dart here, though. I keep coming back to it because I like it here. I think it plays. All right. In fact, it does play. It'll shoot out in that field. 2 additional tiles for 3 total, right? And then this is all taken care of. This is all taken care of.
Sorry.
This gets sealed down. This is all sealed. If for some reason they want to try to walk out over here, they're not going to. All right. No way. Unless you're getting cute and you're over here, they won't mess with you here. So, same thing. We're just continuing this whole dart theme. Until we get to your tunnels up here. All right. So, let's start with the tunnels in metal. I do want to point out that if you aren't careful here, you can lose this tower. So I'm going to build around it instead. As you will note, we're going to build a block off into it. Just because I want to keep it. Remember, if you break it down, it's gone forever. Okay. And then I want block offs here. And they're really facing to the northwest over our shoulder. Get your walls in. Just like this here. And then we're going to go with some block off here. Remember, if you can see the build through, you're good to go. Same thing with the floor now, right? If you can see that floor, it can play. If you don't see it, though, it doesn't. Just remember that. Okay, but I want some block off here. Just 1 layer. No more. You could do 2 if you have extra builds. It'd make it stronger, more effective. But you don't need it. I would just let them come on down here and try to do their worst to you. All right, so that's your block off. And your goal would be to take them
Not possible.
right up here. And you can actually turn, we're going to turn this into something fun, believe it or not. I'm going to do something different here for you. I would do the same thing here. Just like this. I'd put some block off over here. This time we'd face it out to the northeast. Let's go get some metal. We're out. Okay, out and up we go again.
Whoa, sorry.
And then over here, block off. Walls here. In here.
Nope.
All right, now this here, we just go ahead and edit and seal it. All right. We're going to have a clear path here, and then I'm going to have something here. All right, I want 2 darts shooting through here, and you just seal your block offs down. Again, over the back shoulder to the northwest here. Put windows in here and come here. This here,
Let's see.
yeah, I don't think they would mess with this here. You can get a block off here. If you can get it, run it. Right? If you can't, don't. They should not mess with this here. And actually, it could help you. You could throw. We can throw some stuff here. I'll show you, but just to ensure they got that pathing down here. But again, do you need that there? Nah, you could just take that out. Let them come down. I would leave this here though.
Nope.
You need that wall. Okay. And what I would do is I'd open a window here instead. And this is going to be a nice little kill box section here for you. You'd have your 1/3 walls. We'd go up just like this. You build around it. I'd have this here. I'd open this. I'd open that. Up here, and we just line this straight down here for a moment. I would connect it all like I am showing you here. Right here, I'd consider putting your block off here or your base, and then you go up and up so it all connects to each other. The base would be good here too, though. I don't mind it here either. Really comes down to what you want to preserve. If you moved it down a little bit, you could have some more protection on your block off sections. Right? It really comes down to your play style or what you're looking to do. Both will work.
Whoa, sorry.
We still don't have the broadside. As you guys know, we put it away, but
What?
if you did, this is a broadside location here. You go back to back with your broadsides.
Yeah, not
But we just don't have it right now. So we'll be okay.
Whoa, sorry. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went at 3. I want that at 2. All right. And then this here. And here. Oh, we didn't put our floor in here. Give me a second. Okay. Make sure you have that block off.
Yeah, not possible.
And then this would all be tier 3. You go here.
Whoa,
Once we get this tier 3, we'd seal this one. Everything else is good here. Put this here. Here. Right here. Walk around just like this. Again, this could get blown up, so I don't want you to be too mindful of it. But just wrap this around here. And honestly, I would do the same thing here. I would just wrap this just like we've got. I would seal this.
I see. All right.
And I'd leave an opening right here so you could drop down in and put your base down there. All right. Be mindful of up here. It could have a spawn there, but usually they're going to drop down and down. And if they go back the backside way, all right, we'll take care of this here just in case. It's a just in case thing again. I don't want to not protect you here. Because they could have that spawn up there. This is all going to connect, by the way. All right, seal that down. And then there's your opening. Come back around here. Make sure everything is tiered up.
Yeah, not possible.
Just like this here. Okay, let's go get the metal one more time. Same thing, you're investing in your building and trapping here. You're practicing, right? We're not in a rush. We're not hitting play now. We're farming. We're practicing. We're learning. And that's the goal of the series. My goal is to have one of the most in-depth, advanced series so it caters to all audiences. And then if it seems overwhelming, at least I'm going through step by step. We're not rushing, right? Just taking it slow. Just like this here. Okay, then you come up through up here. Believe it or not, this would open up for a second. We want that right there. That would give me 1, 2, 3. So you would hit here. As they walk down, it should catch there. I would put a couple sound walls out here. Again, let me just break some stuff down so we can see what we have for traps. All right, let's start with a couple of sound walls. Actually, I'm going to make 3 sound walls here. You could even go 4, honestly. I'll go 3. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Believe it or not, when they walk down here, it could hit.
Whoa, sorry.
All right. And then you're going to take metal and wrap it around this way. Up above, you'd have 2 tiles of ceiling. And you just go around with it. I'm going to wait there in case we can sneak a tire in there. All right. I just don't want to place things yet until we are certain we can maybe get away with it. And then just connect this. And that will take care of your lobbers and flingers here. If they try to start, it's to sit back and lob and fling at you. All right. Up here, I would do a block off. Don't edit the floor, though. And again, because we're thinking about it, right? I want you to go ahead, just like this. I would actually come over here if you can get a dart here, too. Let me just see what we got for darts for a moment. I would shoot one here, and I would shoot one here. Just in case they want to sit here and try to get cute after you. Don't worry about back here. All right. Because we'll take care of this. All right. Again, I have never really seen them mess around back there. Unless you're standing on that section. It's all about where you're standing. And because the last thing you want to do is don't want an enemy to drop down here and start lobbing and flinging at your build, right? Or walk across and go at your build. So we're going to put that wall right here, okay? And we'll go dart, dart. And then I want 2 wall launchers, believe it or not. Here and here. I'm trying to force them out. And make sure you know what your impact is. Now, this only has 2 impact on it. If you have 3, you could do that. If you don't have a third, you're going to have to come with another dart here. And that comes here. Just in case they try to drop down, and then you have your dart back here.
Whoa, sorry.
You should not have any issues here, though, at all whatsoever. This would be a dart back here. This would be here. You could have your ceiling here to connect it, so they can't lob at you. And this is a dart here. Could also come with a dart over here. Right? That way you're covering all avenues. Again, I don't know if you need that section. I'm just throwing it in there for extra for you. Again, take these builds and do with them what you want. If you don't like them, you think they're overkill, I respect that. Right? If you think it's too much, I respect that.
Sorry.
But the people that put the effort in here, I'm telling you, in the long run, you're going to be better off. I do believe that. So, if you're willing to put the time in. Again, we're preparing for all 10 Storm Shield defenses, not just this one. And a potential endurance for storage purposes. But actually, this build will play off of endurance, honestly. Okay, everything's thought about here. Will they drop down here and stop? No. Now, if they drop here, though, right? Darts are covering. Ceiling for lobbers. Could throw an electric field right here. Not a bad trap. Right there. I probably would, honestly. It's just, I don't know when that spawn hits here. But there is one that hits. Okay. So everything then would be tiered up. They work their way into this point. This here, I would go with a block off. I would shoot a dart through the opening. Okay.
Yeah, not possible.
Let me fix this for a minute. We need to upgrade that. Do block that off, by the way, please. And then this here would be your finisher. And you want a ceiling right here. And then you have your opening to bait them up here.
Nope. What to build?
All right, so that gets sealed. This comes down. This goes here.
Oh, sorry.
This is a pyramid. Again, a full block off to protect you. These are 2 darts right here, here, and here. You could, if the game allows you now to, you could sneak a sound wall here, and believe it or not, even over here if you want to. I'd actually bring this down here, honestly, and seal that there in, so your base will spread through. Nothing wrong with the sound wall right in here if you can sneak it, though. Could you throw darts here and here and here? If enemies want to stand here and try to lob at you, absolutely. I'd wait, though, before you throw any other juice out here. Sometimes I'll put a dynamo here, too. Or up here, you know. But you'll have your ceiling traps to protect you. And this shouldn't surprise you. This is the finisher right here. like we've had on our other builds. It seems like a lot because of, you know, the attention to detail that we're showing, but it's really not that much for all 10 Storm Shield defenses, right? And you'll never have to come back here and mess with it again. That's the key. You are protected, man. No doubt about it. Total protection. Now, again, if you run out of darts, you can sacrifice some of the things that we have here, of course, right? But, or if you need resource, you got to repurpose. I get that. Or go farm.
Not possible.
All right, so let's go in here. We got a couple wall launchers coming down. Just for a moment, I'm going to go ahead and throw my darts so I know exactly where I need my darts at.
Whoa, sorry.
I would edit that, by the way.
Nope.
Remember, this is darted. Okay, they get recycled now. Wall launcher here and here. Let's get some electric fields going. Let's get some dynamos going. Your wall dynamos would line all the way in the box here. Just like we have here. We need some wooden floor spikes. Let me just get those next. Electric fields will go in here and here. Okay, wooden floor spikes. Walk them up. These would be your tar pits. Believe it or not, I actually do like wooden floor spikes down here if you have the material to drop them. I don't like tar pits, nothing. Don't put retractables close to in front of your trap tunnels or flame grills and stuff. Smashers hate those and they will charge. Very important there on that. Okay, those get recycled now. Get some tires going. Okay, boom and boom over our back shoulder facing. We'll get our metal. And we'll go ahead and call it a day, right? With that. Make sure you have your stacks if you can. We'll come back when it starts and grab that. And do be reminded, once you run it, you can farm some of this stuff back right away. You can run it, you can practice. Remember, base would go there.
Nope.
Now, out here. Now, this is 2, or a little bit more than that, right? I actually like here, here, here. Just like that. Now, you could adjust here. See how I have this here? I'm just going to give you an example. Okay, if you want to adjust and you want to use a different trap, which is quite acceptable, by the way. All right? You could go like this and just adjust it down. All right? Just connect your stone here again. Come on down here. Just like we're showing you here. Now you're not going to be able to get some builds out on these ones potentially. And then you come with your electric fields instead. If you don't want to run tires. I like the tires here. Believe it or not, right here too, just for a moment, this tire, I would actually face that over your shoulder this way from the trap tunnel. We'll upgrade that at the end. right? So when they come here, it throws them back this way a little bit. You'd want your ceiling drop traps out here eventually too, probably, but again, you can adjust the build if you wish. I like electric fields in here though. Just like this.
Yeah, not possible.
And then if we came up here, let me just show you for a minute. That's your block up there, right? Again, if you want to take these down a little bit, just drop down a tile, like I'm showing you, and build out here. And then you just come and seal it down and connect it all together, just like we've shown you. It just really comes down to your play style and how you want to do it. I don't mind the electric fields here, to be honest with you. It gives you a little bit more damage.
Whoa, sorry.
Right? If they try to work down here. The issue you have here, though, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know if I really like this one right here in front of the sound wall. I'm just going to come back again. I do apologize. I wouldn't put one in front of your sound wall, though, right there, if you can help it. In the front of your tunnel. Could actually go bad there. It could aggro. Here's fine back in this area. I don't mind this. All right, that plays. Could you sneak one up here? If you could get it up there, I would, but they're not gonna let you. I would just be mindful out here if you go this way. I don't really like it. I like what I had before. Because I don't want you to have anything near those sound walls in the front of your build where it could bust it out. So if that were me, I'd go back and keep the tires though. I'm just showing you different if you're out of certain material, you know, so on and so forth. Now here, I like this. I would keep this out here, but not... let me just show you where we're at again. Right? Not here. All right, and that's your block up top there. All right. So just a couple different options with traps you want to run. Just be mindful of those electric fields, though, near your sound wall traps. Taking a big chance with that, my friends. And actually up here, I would probably come out and extend that even further. And that would be your builds. Let's just get everything upgraded, and then we will go defend. And I'm not worried about the defense for you right now. I'm hoping that you were able to pick up some building and trapping techniques. You're practicing, right? This is a practice session. That's how I always refer to it as. Come in and practice with your builds a little bit. Start learning how it all works. You'll be further ahead than 99% of the people that are playing. If you do that, I promise you that. I would not doubt that's the number, by the way, too. Okay? Most people are going to hit play now. They're going to try to get teammates in to come do it for them. Right? I hate to say that. It's the truth. Right? Very little effort now these days. Like, hey, man, can you come in? I can't, you know, they'll say to you, I can't beat my Storm Shield Defense. And I'll ask them, have you tried to build it yet? And you go in, there's nothing built at all whatsoever. Right? You just have to at least attempt it, right? That's the key. Right over here, I would go with one here. Just over my shoulder. You could have your electric fields, but you just practice and try at least, right? That's all. All right. Final upgrades. If you have any that you can get, which we aren't able to access the outside areas, Everything else is good to go and right as rain. In your final kill box here, just put your electric field here. Make sure you have your zapper here. And then everything else gets recycled. And then we know before our next Storm Shield Defense that we're going to have to do some farming. Right? No doubt about it. Oh, sorry. We need a few more dynamos here. Or 2 more, excuse me. All right, so I'd go electric field here. And I would go dynamos here and here. Just finish off the build. All right, so let's go on down now and begin our defense. Now, as you saw there, unfortunately, I did not have the video available for you guys when it came to the actual run of the Storm Shield. The file ended up being corrupted. So nonetheless, though, as always, completely AFK, took advantage of farming to include the valuable cave deposits that I've mentioned in our previous episodes. But otherwise, we have now unlocked our think tank portion of our survivor squad, our second land vehicle with truck slot 1, and then we did receive our V-Bucks. All right, and then as, again, you start working your way up and moving forward through the storyline, you will receive your X-ray tickets eventually. All right. Now, I have confirmed that we are now at a place where you can, in fact, complete your daily war games. So please make sure each and every day out in Plankerton, you are going for those drops of rain and that valuable gold, and don't overlook going back to Stonewood and working on the gold there either. All right, so let's go over here to the exchange tab. Now today we have our people llama, not discounted. If this llama were to turn gold, I would tell you to go ahead and pick that up if it has something game-changing or essential in your journey. Typically for me, though, it's always upgrade llamas. All right. In our previous episode, I did go ahead, because we had our discounted triple llama, to show you an example of what you can or cannot get upon going that route. All right. In the end, the benefit would be discounted event tickets overall. But otherwise, I still stand by the upgrade llamas. All right. So we're going to go ahead and open up a few of these here, or at least 2. See what else we can add to our inventory here today. And we're also getting to a point now where we're familiar with our inventory. So I'm going to start marking out here, keeping all survivors once again. And we'll keep moving forward here. Remember, you could chase 10 of these people llamas. But in the end, that's 4 upgrade llamas that you're missing out on. And if you go on a heater over here on upgrade llamas, you will be so much further ahead, truly.
Ooh, grow some veggies. Adios. Enjoy.
And same thing here. I'm keeping game-changing essential items only. I like the tar pit we currently have, so I wouldn't be keeping that one. I do not like that there, but I will keep the survivor. And we'll call it a day. Now remember, if you have 50 tickets remaining, and you're not certain you are going to get to play again today, I would keep those for reset if you don't have a game-changing llama here. I'd wait. All right, because you could sign in tomorrow or, you know, at the reset time, and you're like, man, I won't get to play today. And at least you have the tickets to get that legendary llama that's looking at you. There's nothing worse than seeing a legendary staring back at you, and you cannot get it because you are not able to obtain your X-ray tickets. All right. So anyway, we've got all that going. Then we will go through. Again, all survivors will be saved. When it comes to resources-wise, if you've gotten anything additional along the way, you know, via collection book, whatever it might be, you'll be good to go. You have your research tab down here. If you happen to pick up a different trap, you can convert, as always. We go back now and take a look at the new schematic that's in. Check in to see if this might be something that would be a benefit to us based on the roles. If it's not, I would go ahead and recycle that down, and it will go into the collection book. But I always recommend when you work collection book, then instead you go ahead and focus in the collection book itself, so you know what you're actually putting away. So let's go ahead and place that trap. And we are continuing to work the collection book, now at level 77. Every time that I leave you between the episodes, I'm farming and or working my stone wood endurance that I have recommended since the very beginning of this series. Again, each and every time that you have a moment where you can go AFK and set and forget that, please do so. You would not believe how great of a benefit it will be if you can upgrade your home base level, unlocking all of these valuable items ahead of time. More so than if you go to the map and continue to keep hitting play now on your actual storyline. But anyways, that will conclude our episode here. In our next one, we will take on this Yar quest line